Hey guys, Views here. I just recorded this video, got all the way up to Mob of the Dead. Then I realized I wasn't recording, or I was recording, but I ran out, I didn't have enough storage, so the video just got deleted after it was done recording. Anyway, we're back at it again. We got Call of Duty, zombies, Easter eggs, ranked easiest to hardest. So, you guys have been loving the tier lists. This is pretty much going to be a tier list. It is a tier list, but it's not your traditional worst to best, easiest to hardest. Shaking it up a bit. And this has been, I've seen a lot of these types of videos, ranking Easter eggs and maps worst to hardest. I've seen a lot of these lately, so I kind of wanted to join in. And the criteria is going to be, it's going to be, I'm just going to S is going to be hard, and then F's going to be easy. But anyway, so the criteria is going to be if this is your first time ever playing the map and like ever doing the Easter egg, this is what's going to be ranked off of like how hard it would be for a first time player who's never done the Easter egg before. Like you can use a guide, like it's a player with a Mr. Raffle Waffles guide who's never done the Easter egg before. They just got their Mr. Raffle Waffles or whatever, and they're about to go do the Easter egg for the first time without knowing the steps before that. It's how much time it would take for them to do that and get it complete. Pretty much, that's how we're doing it. So yeah. Anyway, Doris, you already know where Doris is going. Um, 4 bullet Easter egg. You shoot a panel, you shoot a teddy bear, and then you shoot 2 more teddy bears. You're done. Super easy. Even calling it an Easter egg, I don't even know if it's not. It's nothing like it's crazy how that's the first Easter egg, then it evolves into things like Blood of the Dead. Like it's actually pretty crazy the evolution that it made. Anyway, super easy. You know that belongs here. Yeah. And we got skip to Ascension. Also super easy. If you get 4 people, the hardest part of Easter egg is just finding 4 people, honestly. If you have 4 people who've played the game before, you can probably do this in a day, in a night. Like it is very, very simple. I don't remember the steps well, but I just remember like doing it super easily. You like run in a circle, you throw a Gersh device, then you shoot a little orb a lot, and then you're pretty much done. And then you ride some lunar landers. Like it's super duper easy, super simple. Yeah. Next we got Call of the Dead, also super easy. All of the first ones are pretty easy. Next one is gonna take a step up, but Call of the Dead super easy, except for the dial step. Dial step is a little tricky. I will say it can mess you up if you mess it up once. Like if you make like one wrong move, then you're pretty much like done. Like you're not going to do Easter egg. That and getting the VR11 are pretty much the only 2 challenges of this Easter egg. The rest is easy. Like at the vodka bottles, you throw some grenades, you turn some levers and crank a wheel. Super easy, super duper easy. Yeah, belongs in that tier. No, I'm just gonna speed through the first ones by the way, because one they're easy and two I just ranked them already up to Mob of the Dead. So I'm just gonna try to speed through these. I'm sorry. Shangri-La we got next. I'd say it's pretty hard. I only played it once, so I could be kind of wrong on this, but I remember it being pretty hard. So especially that step where you have to like walk this really slow ass. Oh, sorry for my cursing, but I'm walking a really slow napalm zombie, and then if you get near him, he just explodes. Like that step kind of made me a little mad. We failed that one a lot, but yeah, if you have 4 people, you can probably do it in a weekend. I'd say for sure. It's not like really complicated at all. It's just pretty hard steps. It's not a hard map. It's Shangri-La, and you need also the baby gun, which is a really really hard wonder weapon to get. It's a really low chance to get from the box. But yeah, you can get immolations and stuff if you need it on Black Ops 3. But yeah, it's pretty hard. Pretty hard. I remember. But I could be wrong. I've only done it once, and it was a while ago. It's like more than a year ago. So next we got the Moon. Moon is hard to rank. I gotta say. I think I'm gonna put it in C, but it's pretty hard to rank because if you get perfect RNG, it belongs like one of these. But if you just don't get RNG on your side, it could easily go up into super hard. Like this is just RNG Easter egg pretty much. Especially if it's solo, having to switch the QEDs and the Gershits, like bruh. Um, yeah, then the excavator could also just not be in your favor at all. So yeah, I think it goes in C tier. I think that's pretty deserving of C tier because of that. The rest of the steps are pretty easy. Just get 100 kills, just shoot a ball. Oh, the ball actually it's actually kind of hard. I remember my first time when I was shooting the ball, like I would lose track of it or something. Like a zombie would come up behind me, and then I wouldn't be looking at where it is, and then I wouldn't know where it got stuck, and it'd be kind of hard to find. I'm putting it in B tier actually Because yeah, RNG and the ball can get stuck, and I guess getting those 100 kills is a pretty cramped area next to the MPD, so it could go wrong really easily if you're all cramped up there. And also the astronaut and stuff. Yeah, I think it was a B tier. Yeah. Anyway, Transit's easy. Um, for Evictus maps, I'm only gonna really do a Richthofen side. I know most of the Maxis steps, but I've only ever done the Richthofen side. So I'm gonna get these all on the Richthofen side. Also, I think they're just objectively the better ones, the better side of Easter eggs. Anyway, Transit, Richthofen, it's pretty easy. The only thing, there's like two things I'd say, three maybe. Three things I'd say are kind of hard. One, getting an explosive weapon for the explosive kills. You could use the RPG, the ray gun, or just grenades. Grenades, I don't think are going to cut it, probably, unless they're on like a really low round. RPG would probably cut it, but you could kill yourself with it in that little maze and stuff, so might not cut it if you're not very good at the game. And then ray gun. Ray gun, that's what I always spun for when I did this Easter egg. And it's really easy, that step, if you get the ray gun. They have to get the ray gun first, you know? So that RNG combined with getting the EMPs for everybody on your team, or I guess technically you could only do this with two people, even one person's possible if you're really patient and really good. But you're gonna want typically two people at least to have EMPs for this, and getting that from the box can be kind of hard, especially if you're also trying to get the ray gun or the RPG for the explosive kills. And then also have to get the jet gun, which can be kind of hard for new people, you know, like warding off the denizens and going to knocked and all that. And the piece in the tunnel and the piece in the house, like it's could be kind of hard. I could see that being hard if it's your first time. So yeah, transit, it's not super easy, but it's pretty darn easy. Next, we are not going to count Nuketown, although technically, no, actually, that doesn't have an Easter egg. I was going to say it technically does, but no, I think it's around 20 even. That's never mind. Die Rise. Die Rise, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Me and my friend, we got carried on Die Rise. Oh my god. Like we couldn't find anybody to want to play Die Rise with us. We were trying to do the Black Ops 2 Super Easter egg, and we could not find anybody on Xbox who wanted to do a Die Rise Easter egg. So eventually we started going to public games, and then we found these two guys, these two little boys, who were like they were really good. We asked them like how good they were, and they're like, we're all right. Like it's not like we have world record times or anything. Like they were like really snarky and like they really thought that they were really good. And I have to give them credit; they were good at the Easter egg. We got it beat in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes probably, and yeah, they carried us really hard. But the steps are pretty easy for the most part. I would put it harder, a little bit harder in transit because the mahjong tiles can be kind of confusing. Getting everybody on the right elevators at the right time can take some patience and some timing. Um, Also, the trample steam step can be a little confusing. So yeah, I think above transit is a good spot for it. But yeah, I was carried, so could be harder in that, and I wouldn't know. Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead, easy, bro. I'd put it probably below Call of the Dead. Um, Mob of the Dead is just set up regularly, like set up how you probably would in a normal game anyway. Get that free Blundergat, Hell's Retriever, and Spoon, all really easy to get, all super duper simple. And then you can actually start the Easter egg, and then the actual Easter egg after you get those items is super easy. You just have to get a few codes, and the codes, it's a little bit annoying. They have to memorize the codes or get a guide for the codes. But yeah, so get the codes, put them into the little keypad. Um, then also you have to fly the jet free time, the plane. I don't know if I said jet. Fly the plane 3 times, and that's actually the first step, which is a little bit annoying, honestly. Like especially playing like with only two people, we have to run around and get all those pieces that are in different parts of the map. Can be a little bit annoying, but it's easy for sure. It's not like hard to get parts, but anyway, yeah. So the actual Easter egg is just fly the plane 3 times, get those items that you would get normally in a normal game because they're good and easy to get. Um, then yeah, put in the codes, get those little headphone power ups, and listen to the dialogue. And then you take the plane and you fight each other, which I love that step, by the way. Fighting your friends in zombies, and then one of your friends has the zombies on their side. That's just such a cool step. But the rest of Easter egg, honestly, isn't good. I don't like the rest of Easter egg. That's the only good step of Easter egg. It's the last step. just because it's cool and unique, and it only lasts like a minute or two anyway. But like, I will say, like the dialogue's cool, the story's cool, but the actual gameplay on the Easter eggs, honestly, kind of overrated. Sorry, I do love Mob of the Dead, but that part's overrated. Sorry. Um, Buried. Buried's kind of hard. I gotta say, this goes in at least C tier. I'll put it in B tier. Harder than Moon probably. Um, so this one kind of depends. If your teammates can aim, probably like right here. If your teammates cannot aim, hoo right here, you're looking on spending an hour or two if your teammates have really bad aim. But so yeah, of course you can't bring up Buried without talking about Sharpshooter. That is really the only tricky step, at least on the Rick Toffin side. Um, you just have to shoot a bunch of targets. Each person has to shoot, I think, like 20, 25 targets or something like that in a certain amount of time. But if you miss one of them, if one of them goes down without you shooting it, then if any one of you misses one target, you have to do it again. Keep on doing that until you all have perfect accuracy. Well, not perfect. You can miss bullets, but you know what I mean. You have to hit all the targets. You can't let any of them time out and go down. So yeah, that can be really tricky, especially if you have like one or two bad people who just can't aim. Um, can be really tricky and take a long time. The good thing on this map though is you can get Leroy to pick up a zombie and just kind of hug him for a while, so you won't have a zombie chasing you the whole time, which is pretty nice. And if you get like a good weapon, a good wall buy that you can buy ammo for that has good accuracy, usually I think people use like the PDW is like the weapon of choice, or like the MTAR or something like that, you know. Um, yeah, it's pretty tricky because of that step. The rest of the steps though are pretty easy. You do need a paralyzer and you do need the time bomb, which is some RNG, but those aren't like the hardest things to get. And the time bomb step can be kind of hard around Infinity. You can't kill the zombies because it's around Infinity, and you have to find those little switches, which can be a little tricky. Then like deciphering that code can be a little complex. The code after like the lantern step that can be a little bit. Oh, that always happens. I don't know why, but yeah, the deciphering that thing can be a little bit hard and a little bit tricky, but like because they all look the same, all the little symbols look the same. But if you have a guide with a picture that shows what each one correlates to, you're gonna be fine. Um, and then there's that one step where you have to keep on flipping the switches in order until you get it right, which is annoying, but it's not hard. So yeah, I think Buried deserves B. B for Buried. Um, Next we got Origins. Okay, if it's your first time ever doing Origins, this one's got to go in super hard. This one took me 2 months. I started it in June. I finished it in like August when I first did it. And it isn't like once you have the steps down, it's not that bad. But getting those steps down, there's so many steps, especially if you're solo and getting every staff piece on your own. It's tricky. It's really tricky, I gotta say. Um, that's what 9 that's like I don't know why I said nine. That's 12 pieces, 12 staff pieces, and then all the gems, and then all the CDs, and then you have to upgrade all four of them. Then you have to put them in the right robots. Like that alone, that can take a while and be a lot to memorize if it's your first time. Even if it's not your first time, it's still pretty hard to memorize. Like I've loved Origins. I've played it so many times. I have it down. But when I first started Origins, was not like that. Um, but yeah, we love Origins. It is tricky. Also, getting the melee kills, if you don't do it early, the melee kills for the G strikes, that can be a little hard if you don't do it early. You do it on like after the staff start one shotting, then it can also be pretty hard. But for the most part, that step is not what you're going to be concerned about. It's not that hard if you have a steps down, but the fact that you have to learn all the steps and get them all down, nail them all down, like doing this without looking at the guide at all, like not for any of the staff upgrading steps, is gonna like I can't do that. I cannot do that. And I played Origin so many times, but I need those little like deciphered, those little decoder sheets, off of chronorium.com. But yeah, having it all memorized, super hard, super duper hard. But the actual thing itself, once you get down, it's not too hard. I'd still put it in like A or B, but yeah, just because of the sheer amount of steps and things you have to memorize, it definitely belongs at the top. Next, we got Shadows. Shadows, pretty easy, honestly. I think I'll put it mm, there. It's pretty easy once you have the steps down. The steps are all pretty simple. It's just pretty much just getting the sword. That's like the whole Easter egg, pretty much. And then you have to defend the flag. And the flag defense can be kind of hard, I will say. I have struggled on the flag defense before. But if you have the Apothicon, if you have the Civil Protector, and if you have more than one person, it's not the hardest thing in the world. And then you can easily cheese it with like Fear and Headlights or anything like that. Yeah, for the rest of the steps though, pretty easy. The last one, the 4 player only one, can be a little bit confusing if it's your first time, but for the most part, it's all pretty easy except for that defense step. All simple too. Like there's no memorization, no codes or anything to memorize. But but yeah, that's all right. It's not too hard, not too easy. I like it. Love shadows. Der Eisendrache. I love Der Eisendrache, but it is easy peasy, bro. Easier than Transit. If there wasn't a boss fight, I would say yes. But the boss fight probably puts it up to C because that boss fight can be kind of hard. That boss fight is a little bit tricky, I gotta say. And there also is a lot of steps to memorize, kind of like Origins, like a mini Origins, pretty much like Diet Origins in terms of difficulty. Um, yeah, you have to shoot the wisps. You have to memorize the, I think, 8 wisp locations. That's not too bad. The Some of the bows are hard to get, but if you go for Storm or Wolf, you're gonna be fine on that. Um, Yeah, it's all pretty easy, except for the boss fight can be pretty hard. I will say I have died on the boss fight quite a bit. If you don't have a gun that can do enough damage to the keeper, then you're pretty much done. Like you just can't do it. Like I was just like trying to level up. I think it was like the M8A7 ones, and I went into the boss fight on like I don't know around 30 or 40 or something like that, and it did not go well. I just could not do enough damage to it, and then I ran out of ammo when I died. But if you have the right setup, it can be a pretty easy boss fight. And if you have the plunger, then the panzers are no problem at all. So yeah, I think it's right in the middle, you know. It's pretty easy, except for the like last 2 steps. You also that one where you have to charge up the bows can be a little tricky because you can't move, and sometimes like there'll be zombies all around you, but you don't want to leave, and then you can go down because you just don't want to leave. So yeah, nothing goes in there. It's not too hard to memorize though. There's like not a lot of tricky memorization or anything like Origins. Okay, anyway, next, Zetsubou no Shima. More like Zetsubou, not hard. Um, I'd say probably goes right there. Maybe above Transit. It can go up that rest too. It's pretty easy. I think I beat this one on like my second or third try that I actually like tried to do the Easter egg. I spent like a lot of games like not doing the Easter egg, like I will say, because there's so much to learn on Zetsubou with like the powers kind of not power. The pack punch is a little bit tricky to get on, and the wonder weapon I learned the wonder weapon before the Easter egg, and like half of the Easter egg is getting the wonder weapon upgraded. So like I went into the Easter egg knowing how to do pretty much everything else there is to do on the map. So that could be giving me some bias, but it's a pretty easy Easter egg. You just have to get the KT4, upgrade the KT4, then get the free cogs. One of them, you just have to get one gobblegum. Super easy. One of them does require some RNG and some patience. You do have to get the artillery shell from the pod, which can be a little bit annoying. And then if you miss the plane, that oh my god, it just grinds my gears sometimes. Once I spent so long trying to get the shell, and then my friend, he didn't know if it was loaded into the cannon or not, so he just fired it because I didn't tell him that I loaded it in already. So he was like, he went up to load it in because you have to hold the interact button on it twice, one to load it in and one to fire. And he was trying to load it in, but I already loaded it in, and then he shot it after we spent like half an hour trying to get the shell, and oh my god, that can be annoying, I gotta say. But other than the RNG for that, it's pretty easy. The spider boss fight, yeah, that's easy sauce. Um, the actual boss fight also pretty easy. It's just surviving a bunch of thrashers, pretty much. That's the whole Easter egg. The whole boss fight. Sorry. Um, yeah, it's a pretty easy Easter egg. It's a lot. There's a good amount to remember, and there's a lot to do, like a lot of steps. But I'm trying to think of. I feel like there's another hard step. I can't remember. I guess like going down to water a plant with the rainbow water can be a little tedious and annoying to go like all the way down there 3 rounds in a row. Can be kind of annoying, especially if it dies once and you have to redo it all again. Really sucks. But yeah, it's a good map and it's not that hard at all. Gorod Krovi, on the other hand, I'd say so far it's probably the hardest Easter egg other than Origin. I'd say it's harder than Origins, but is nowhere near as much to memorize as Origins. Like Origins, I think is gonna definitely be at like towards the top of this list because of just the memorization. Which if it's your first time, that's hard. That counts into hardness. So yeah. But anyway, Guard Kobe. It's not a lot to memorize, but there are some tricky steps. I gotta say. Um, like let me think. We got the challenges. Like you have to like get the burn zombie kills. You have to do all the stuff to get the egg. That can be a little bit tricky than like the melee kills. If you don't know that your shield counts as melee kills, that can be really hard. But if you use your shield for that step, it's super easy. Um, what else do we got? We got the bomb step, the infamous bomb step. That one can end your whole game. 1 minute, you're chilling, you're waiting. Oh, what challenge am I gonna get? What challenge are we gonna get? Then it's the bomb step, and then you're not in solo, so you can't pause the game, and then your whole team dies, just like that. So that one it can mess you up, can really screw you over, especially if you're not good at memorizing the places. But there's not too many hard things on it. The boss fight, Nikolai, the dragon, super easy. But Nikolai, he can be really hard if you don't have if you're not using megas at all. If you're just using classic gobblegums, Nikolai can be really hard. I gotta say, he is probably like the hardest boss fight ever. I'd say. Yeah, I'd say so. Probably the hardest boss fight ever. Oh no, Voyage is pretty hard. But yeah, probably other than Voyage, he's the hardest boss fight ever if you're not using megas because he can just kill you super easily, especially if your shield's broken. And then like you use all the little balls or wraps from multiplayer. Ooh, it can get tricky there. But yeah, it's a hard Easter egg, I'd say. There's also like all the other challenges. Some of the challenges are pretty hard. Like the Mangler one can be a little tricky. Um, what else is there? I'm forgetting what steps are. The Valkyrie one can be a little tricky too. If you accidentally shoot the Valkyrie, it's over. I'm missing one. Like I have them. There's also like the Gersh one. There's the defending one. I feel like there's one more, but I could be wrong. Anyway, yeah, Gord Kobe, long shot there. Pretty hard. Rev. Revelations. It's kind of hard. Um, yeah, I'd say that's a good spot. It's a decently hard Easter egg, but it's not too hard. Um, the bone step where you have to shoot all the bones if you upgraded the Apothicon, that step can be kind of hard. And honestly, the Margwa step where you have to kill the Margwas in like the boss fight arena, that is much harder than the boss fight, I think. I have died definitely more times on that step than the actual boss fight, which is just sad, man. This boss fight could have been so great. It could have been such a good boss fight. It's Revelation. It's a climactic ending. But anyway, I'm not here to sob about that. Um, the rest of Easter egg, pretty easy. We got the defending the keeper, that's pretty easy. We got the eggs are pretty easy. There's a good amount of steps, but they're all pretty easy. It's just a bone step and that Margwa step, and there's a little bit of memorization for where the eggs spawn. That make me put it where it is. Other than that, pretty easy. It's not easy though. Blood of the Dead. Blood of the Dead. I think if any of you guys have done it or heard of it, it's top of the hardest. It is the hardest Easter egg of all time, I'd say. I love it though. I'm sorry if you're a Blood of the Dead hater, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I love Blood of the Dead. If you've seen my map tier list, you know. But I love this map. I love Blood of the Dead, the Easter egg. I like it because it's hard. I've played zombies for so many years. I'm good at the game. Sometimes I want a little challenge. I did it without perks. I got that achievement, and it was a really fun challenge. And anyway, we're not ranking them how fun they are. It's how hard they are. It's hard. People say like, "Oh, it's a Shield Easter egg looking through Shield Simulator." Nah, it ain't like that. You don't have to look for a shield that much, especially if you know. how you can you can like go to the little electro boxes, and if it's sparking, you can fully charge up your shield. But my cat is banging on my door. Let me open the door real quick. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But yeah, anyway. Oh, yeah, Blood of a Dead. It is very hard. We have the birds. Oh my God, 47, whatever. A lot of bird spawns. You can hear it. The bird's very loud, but it is very, very tedious. That's the one step, honestly, that I really dislike. I hate that step. That's one of the worst steps in all of zombies history. Just annoying and tedious, and it makes it hard on your mental state. Not hard to do, but it's hard on your brain. Anyway, yeah. Um, Blood of a Dead, very hard. We got also Morse code. If you don't know the first 10 digits in Morse code, that step can be kind of hard. If you're playing multiplayer, it's not hard at all, honestly. It's super easy. It's just trial and error. If you know Morse code, like slightly, you know the first 10 digits, which I actually learned for this Easter egg. Just wanted to throw it out there. Um, that step's not that hard, especially if you're playing multiplayer. And if you're playing single player, you use Winter's Wail, you use the shield, you use monkey bombs, and you can keep that. You use the sword, you use Ragnarok. There's so many ways to keep the zombies off you, so you can just spam digits, inputs on that little Morse code thing. Um, that step, I think that one people say it's a lot harder than it actually is. One step that is really hard though is the one where you have to like escort the guy and you have to zap him a whole bunch, and if you don't, then you have to get him in the trap at the end before he kills the other ghost. That step can be hard if you're not at the very end of a round. If you're in the middle of a round, you're done. Like that is gonna be super duper hard to do in the middle of a round. At the end of a round, though, if you make sure you don't kill the zombies with the spirit blasts, it's not that bad. Anyway, we spent a lot of time on Blood of a Dead. It's hard. If you've done it before, if you know any of the steps, you know it's hard. And not much changes. Oh, I don't know why Classified is next. I'm going to do Voyage next. Um, what's not much easier is Voyage. Above Origins? Yeah, yeah, it's above Origins. Voyage is hard. Oh my God, bro. I hate this Easter egg. Like, this Easter egg is like, this one deserves a hate. Blood of a Dead, it's overhated. Voyage Despair, hate on it all you want. I don't like this Easter egg at all. Um, the clock step makes me want to actually just throw my head against the wall. Oh my God, I want to rip my hair out. I hate the clock step. We got the planet step, exact same thing with that. Hate that step. I don't even remember most of the other steps, but it's hard. It's annoying. It's a pain. The boss fight is also really hard, especially if it's solo. It can be really, really hard. And if you don't have the Helion Salvo, you're done. You're done. You're cut. If you don't have the Helion Salvo and you're alone, you're not probably not good. Unless you're like really good, you're probably not gonna do this boss fight. It's gonna be a big challenge. But yeah, it's hard. Planet step, clock step, boss fight, pretty hard stuff, man. And then also you actually have to be mentally strong enough to get to that point without either giving yourself brain damage from slamming your head against a wall or by rage quitting. So that adds a lot to the challenge. Anyway, 9. I'm gonna do 9 next, and I'll do classified. 9. It's an easy map. Like it's very open, and the water up in is decent, and the shield's really good. But Easter egg's kind of hard. I'll say Easter egg's I think I'm gonna put it in A. Not above Shangri-La, but yeah, right there. I think it's a good spot for it. It's kind of hard. Especially that one step for raw challenge where you have to kill the zombies types, the boss zombie types in order, and then if you do it out of order, you fail. That one can be kind of hard, especially if you get a Big Daddy, a Blightfather. If you get a Blightfather, then it's gonna be really, really hard. But if not, it's not gonna be too hard. Um, it does take you have to wait a lot of rounds to start this Easter egg, kind of like Blood of a Dead. You have to get the poop, the wood. You have to cook the wood. You have to find the skull, and then you have to get the scorpion, the Death of Orion, to then grind up the skull. So you have to do, which means if you're gonna do the steps to get the free Death of Orion, you have to get the jar, which you need a high thumbs up for, a high whatever it's called reputation, and then the poop you need a low thumbs up, you need a thumbs down. So that's gonna take a while. So you're only gonna start the steps after that. Like once you gather all those items, and then on top of that, you have to let them all sit in a pot for 2 rounds. Then you have to let them sit on a tree for like another 4 rounds. Like you have to wait a lot of rounds until you get into the real steps. It's just a lot of fetch quests and waiting for the first like 5 steps. Especially if you're gonna do the free Death of Orion, then you have to go from thumbs up to thumbs down, like I said. Um, which yeah, that can be a pain. That can be a really big pain because then the rest of the steps are going to be on round like in the 20s or 30s, which makes it a lot harder. But it isn't like outside of that regard, it's not too hard. But elephants can be a little bit hard. If you have a Helion Sable, they're done. If you have the what's it called? The gun, the Mog. If you have the Mog, then also yeah, the elephant is done. If you have Hades, it's done. If you have a Zwindleheimer, it's done. But yeah, I know I didn't say that right. But but plain gun, Zwindleheimer. It's not called that, but that's what I'm gonna call it. Cause I forgot the name. So yeah, like any really good high DPS gun can just destroy the elephants. But if you don't have that, the elephants can be hard. I will say. Like doing this on Gauntlet. Oh my god, I should make another list for ranking gauntlets, easiest to hardest. Um, if you want one of those, let me know. But yeah, doing the elephant on gauntlet with after like the randomized gun step, oh my god, it is hard. But anyway, we're not talking about gauntlet. Easter egg, it belongs in A. For the steps are decently hard, and you have to wait a lot of rounds to actually get to them. Next, we have classified. Okay, so this thing is classified. There's 2 things that you could consider as the Easter egg. Round 150 or the Free Winter's Whale or Winter's Howl. Free Winter's Howl Easter egg, it goes somewhere down here, probably like here, I'd say. It's a good spot for it. But if we're talking about round 150, which I am gonna say is the Easter egg, because that's the one that you get a cutscene for, and because of that, I'm gonna count that as the Easter egg. Bro, come on, come on, come on. Who wants to get to round 150? Especially when the game came out. This game was not made to get to round 150. The game would crash well before round 150. Why couldn't this actually makes me so mad. Why didn't they make it 115? Why didn't they make it 115? That would have fixed the Easter egg so much. I might even attempt it if it was round 115. But the rounds just get so long after you get to 100. Even like in the 80s and 70s, the rounds get so long and take so much time that getting like that high, round 150 takes like 10 hours. And the strategy is so boring. It's sitting with a shield and then just spamming with shield and spamming right fires. That's the whole like strategy. You do that for like 10 hours. So nobody wants to do that. Nobody. I'm actually, in fact, I'm making a tier for it. I'm sorry, but I'm making a tier for classified. Gonna make it called G class. Don't call it round 150 Easter egg. Yeah, and there it goes. Yeah, it is by far the hardest Easter egg. Takes so much time. Nobody had the patience for that. Nobody had the patience for that, bro. And then you get rewarded with like a minute long cutscene that isn't even like an amazing cutscene. Yeah, yeah, it belongs there. It makes me so mad. If it was 115, it would have been like a few hours shorter, quite a few hours shorter, and it would have like been cooler because 115. Yeah, yeah, makes me mad. Anyway, we're getting near the end of the list because, like I said, have not played Ancient Evil, Alpha, Omega, Tog, or Malware, or Forsaken. So we're getting near the end of the list. We got Dead of the Night. Only done this one once, and I also once again did it like second try, but it was kind of complicated. I gotta say. I think I'll put it right here. Um, I feel like Moon's kind of high, but just nah, I'll keep Moon where it is. Anyway, Dead of the Night. Yeah, scratch mark step, not fun. There's a lot of steps. I can't remember many of them because I've only done it once, but it was pretty easy. I will say it was just complicated and like a lot to do. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think what was some other hard steps. There's the scratch marks one is the one that really stood out to me. All the parts that you have to get to build the silver bullets, that's gonna take a long, long time. Upgrading the Alistair's Annihilator, that's gonna take some time. So it's a pretty long Easter egg, but it's not that hard. beat it second try. Yeah, I'll keep it there. I don't have much to say about it. Sorry. The boss fight's pretty easy. But yeah, I don't have much to say about it because I've only done it once. Next though, we got D Machine. D Machine. I put it there like just because I want it to be there, but honestly, it might stay there. I can go right there. Uh, it's Cold War. Right there, right there. D Machine. Super easy. Super duper easy. Also, once again, I'm not doing these maps because I haven't played them before. Have not done the Easter egg on. I've played Ancient Evil, but I've not done the Easter eggs on any of those. Sorry about that. If you want me to update this in like a few weeks, once I have, let me know. But yeah, D Machine. D Machine's easy. Half of the reason, more than half, like 70% of the reason, is because it's Cold War. Cold War is the easiest, for sure, by far easiest Treyarch Zombies game. You get infinite ammo pretty much. You get as many perks as you want, and the perks are OP if you have them upgraded with the Ethereum shards. Yeah, super, super easy game. But guns are like really powerful, honestly. All the guns are pretty strong. You have rarities, you can triple pack. The wonder weapon on this map is good. Like, it's just so easy. I'm putting it below Ascension. I'm sorry, it is so easy. The actual steps themselves, though, they're easy too. I was gonna say like they're kind of hard, but not very easy. You have to like get all of the wonder weapon types. You have to like throw a grenade in a tank. You have to like bring a ball to a chamber. Then you have that really weird quote unquote boss fight where you have to defend the big guy for like a couple minutes, which is pretty darn easy. Yeah, it's an easy, so especially if you have the gas. If you have the gas die, then you can defend him so easily. Yeah, it's really really easy. Um, yeah, next we got Firebase E, also really easy. Once again, because it's Cold War, that's just gonna make it easier. Um, harder than D Machine though, probably harder than Ascension, harder than Mob, I'd say. It's just like, yeah, sure, it's harder than Mob, but it's easy. It's a little more complicated, and it's a little bit glitchy too, but it's easy. You like, I've only done this one once. I don't remember it well, but you have to like catch a mimic in a trap, which can they have to make a certain mimic though, so it takes a little bit of time and it can be a little bit complicated, but not really. Um, the step where you have to find there's like a bunch of mimics and you have to kill the right one or something like that. That one's pretty easy. You have to like defend that one spot with the giant capsule of Ethereum or whatever. Then you have to like find the right Ethereum jar. There's like some evil ones. You have to find the right one. Then you have to like play a little computer game. Then you have the easiest boss fight in all of zombies. Oh my god, I think like I've seen a clip of a guy like killing it with Ring of Fire and like a fully packed Ray. He killed that thing, the Orda, he killed it in like actually like I want to say like 6 seconds. Like it, oh my god, that thing got no health and it does no damage. It is no threat at all. You can just destroy that guy. Yeah, it's an easy Easter egg. But it's a slightly complicated, so that's why I put it above Mob. Okay, last one, because I haven't played Malware or Forsaken either. We got Outbreak. Outbreak, we're gonna do the main one, by the way. The secondary one for like Weaver, whatever his name is, where you just have to like kill an Orda and exfil. We're not gonna do that one. We're gonna do the one with the Legion. And because of the Legion, I'd say it goes up here, honestly. The Legion is the hardest boss fight in all zombies, I'd say. I think that is just pretty universally agreed upon. Like I can't think like Nikolai is kinda up there. And I forgot about that when I was drinking Gorod Krovi. I said Nikolai was really hard. But yeah, no, I forgot about the Legion. The Legion is really hard, even on Cold War. Um, yeah, it's pretty much you shoot him a bunch, you shoot his core a bunch, then a bunch of little orbs will appear around him, then you have to shoot the orbs. If you have Ring of Fire or a Furia Shroud, whatever it's called, the one that makes you go invisible, if you have those, it can be pretty easy. But I think they like nerfed that or something. Like they made it so like if you shoot at it with a Ethereum Shroud, Ethereal Shroud, whatever it's called, you do less damage or something like that. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like I heard that somewhere. Um, but yeah, this one took me a while. This one took me like quite a few tries to do when I first did it, probably like 5 or 6, which isn't the most amount, but Outbreak, it takes a while too, because you have to get to like round 5 on Outbreak, and you have to find all those radios, and those radios can take a while to find. And then the actual time in the bunker, once you get to the bunker on Ruka, that doesn't take too long. But yeah, getting to Ruka isn't too hard. It's just like the radios and the monkey, and it's not that hard. But then once you get into that bunker, things do take a pretty hard turn. That's a good one. Come on, hard turn. Get it because it gets hard and like like a hard right. Sorry. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Mainly just because Legion. If you take the Legion out, if you replace Legion with like I don't know the Elephant or with if you replace Legion with let's say Revelations boss fight, then it would probably go here or maybe even here. But Legion's very hard. And also you have a time limit. You have like it's pretty long. I think it's more there just to stress you out than like to actually be a threat. Because I think it's like 9 or 10 minutes, something like that. It's a long time, but it adds to like the stress. And then like he makes like a bunch of like little cloud areas that will kill you if you go inside. It's a hard fight. And then you have Panzers and Manglers and Tempests and all kinds of guys like just chasing you the whole time. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard in the cultists and whatever they're called, the followers. I don't know what they're called. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on this one. It's hard. You get the point. Hard boss fight. The rest of Easter eggs pretty easy. Also, it's Outbreak, so you actually have to like learn Outbreak. Like you have to learn the rest of this game mode. It's not even like a map; it's like its own game mode. So you have to learn all of Outbreak pretty much, and like how to do all the side quests, and like not the side quests, but like you know what I mean, like the like getting the stuff, like the defend the dragon and stuff like that. But yeah, it goes there, and that's it for our tier list. Sorry once again that I couldn't do those 5 maps. Um, maybe I'll update it sometime in the future. But yeah, that's all the Easter eggs, I think, right? Let me just look through them real quick. Yeah, that's all the Easter eggs that I've done. Um, yeah, I'll just do the slow scroll up like I always do. This tier is kind of big. Maybe I'll move. Nah, I call it that's easy. Yeah, no. Yeah, easy and hard are kind of big tiers, but you know, there's just a lot of easy and hard ones. So yeah, well, let me just slow scroll. Yeah, and classified. Oh my God, bro, classified makes me mad that it's not 115. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this tier list. And if you're getting into Easter eggs and like you're just getting into zombies, don't take difficulty into accounted for. Just do them in order. Do it, like in canon order. Just play all the maps in the order. Noct, Verrucht, Shino Numa, Darice, Kino, 5. Like just do that order. Start with Ascension. Yeah. Don't take like if you're watching this to know like which map to do first. Just do it in order, man. Just get yourself acquainted on like Darice or something. Get yourself into zombies. Get yourself knowing all the mechanics and all that on like Darice or something. Then just do Easter eggs in order. But yeah. Hope you guys agree with my list. If not, leave it down below in the comments. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna go play some zombies now. Have a This is a hard one. I can't say like super hard day because I don't want to wish that upon you guys. But yeah, if this is your first time watching me, I always say have a even some random adjective day. Let me think. Let me think. Have a have uh 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 um I'm adding so much time. I'm sorry. Don't click off. Don't click off. I'll figure it out. I'll think of this real quick. Have a Origins staff level of goodness day because the Origin staff are super good, and that was the map that caught my eye. Sorry. Again, yeah. Have a Origin staff. Have an ice staff. Yeah, not just the Origin staff. Have an ice staff level of good day. Yeah, be as good as the ice staff today. If you see somebody that needs help, something, lend a hand, do an act of kindness, be like the ice staff. Everyone's got to be like a little more like the ice staff. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, have a good day. Views out.